Well, they certainly think, TJ, that it is continuing to spread and that it certainly hasn't been contained yet. One of the things that they keep telling us is that they simply don't know what the source of this E. coli outbreak is. Now, some here believe that it comes from things like raw lettuce, tomatoes, and cucumbers, because one of the things they've done is they've questioned people when those people were still well enough to be questioned and asked them what in particular they've been eating. And it seems as though many of these people ate a disproportionate amount of these things, of lettuce, tomatoes, and of cucumbers, all of this, of course, raw. But again, as you said, it is very important for the German authorities to try and come to terms with this because this thing is still untreatable. I talked to one of the scientists who actually deciphered the genetic code of this particular strain of E. coli, and he says that the people in hospitals in Germany at the beginning of this were giving people antibiotics because that's how you treat E. coli. But it turns out antibiotics made everything even worse because, first of all, the strain of E. coli is very resistant, and second of all, the antibiotics actually makes it emit even more toxins and people get very, very sick. And we've been saying about 20 people have died of this so far. However, the people that have the worst form of this, many of them are going to suffer the consequences for life. Many of them are going to suffer kidney failures for life. Other people have serious other impairments, including neurological impairments, TJ.
You know what, Fred, what in the world do they do to try to contain it then? If they don't even know the source, they can't tell people to stop eating this or don't touch that, or I guess you can tell people just be careful and wash your hands and cook your meat and things like that. Is that really the only defense right now?
It certainly is. I mean, it's hard to believe, but it certainly is. And I talked to one of these doctors, and he says, listen, people come to me all the time, and I tell them, I don't even know what to do. Basically, right now, the only health tip that the German government is giving to the people here, and to anybody else, really, is not to eat any raw lettuce, tomato, and cucumber. That's the only thing they have, because they don't know what the source is. They say what you have to do is cook your vegetables. There are some indications it might be vegetables, but that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. The other thing that they're trying to do is they're trying to improve the treatment methods that they have. Right now, because things like antibiotics don't work, all that doctors can try to do is keep the patient alive, put them on dialysis, and hope that these people survive this very severe form of E. coli. But one of the things that scientists are telling us is that once they have the genetic code, and they do now have it, what they can try to do is try to pinpoint weaknesses of this E. coli bacteria, which then they can possibly attack with other treatment methods, TJ.
Wow, Fred Pleitgen, scary stuff right now happening in Europe. Fred, we appreciate you as always, and a reminder to our viewers here in the U.S., it has not made it here, scientists and experts believe, even though there have been a few Americans who do appear to have this E. coli strain. That is because they had traveled recently to Germany. They did not get it here. So at this point, they're saying produce here in the United States and this particular strain is not here. Important to note that.